Hi, my name is Elsa Garrison. I'm a staff photographer with Getty Images. I'm based here in New York. I shoot primarily sports. My responsibility is to obviously cover all the sporting events in New York City, but I do a good bit of travel with playoffs and everything in the States. I also am fortunate enough to cover World Cups and Olympics, and so it's just a different kind of pressure that I really enjoy. My journey in photography started in ninth grade. I took a photography class. What I really enjoyed about that was there were so many different little technical aspects that you could do to create an image. So I grew up in a really small town in northern Minnesota, and they had a mentorship program where they would pair students with professionals in the field. And so in my little town, there was the newspaper photographer. And so because I was in school all day, most of our assignments were nights and weekends, happens to be sport. And so by working with this photographer at the newspaper, he showed me what it is that journalists and visual journalists do. And I thought that was really fascinating. And then that kind of segued into, I do want to make a career out of this, but I want to further my education. So I attended the University of Missouri. I got a journalism degree. There are a lot of events that I love to cover. I love boxing. I think I like it because it's not an easy sport to cover. It moves very quickly. If you want to get glove on face, you need to have your timing down and your focus down. I love soccer. The Women's World Cup in particular is one of my favorite events. I think it's great to document the growth of the women's game over the last few years. I think it's been really tremendous. I did grow up in Minnesota. I do really like hockey. Somebody had always said to me, if you are able to shoot hockey, you can shoot any sport because it's such a fast-moving, chaotic sport. And all of those technical lessons that you learn as a photographer from shooting hockey, you can bring into anything. I do enjoy shooting playoff baseball. There's something about October baseball, just the atmosphere alone is just electric, and there's just something magical about it. What I really love about sport and sport photography is that it's not easy. To be a sport photographer, you had to practice your follow focus skills. There are a lot of technical things involved. You needed to do a lot of research. And those are all things that I really kind of enjoyed about the photography side of it. So as photographers, we always try and kind of put our stamp on things. So I like to shoot with fast prime lenses, meaning like f2.8. I like to shoot them wide open and use the bokeh of the lens with the compression and the wide open aperture to really blow out those backgrounds, I guess, or compress those backgrounds so they're not as much of an element to the picture on certain types of action pictures. So like the action snaps. My primary objective is to capture those moments that people are going to be writing about and talking about the next day and beyond. When I'm at an event, I have sort of a game plan in my head of how I'm going to show the scene and tell that side of the story. And if you're spending too much time thinking about it, you're going to miss it. And so in my head, my game plan is always ingrained where I just react. And that's how I capture that stuff. I think it's important to capture emotion in sport because you need to show that these people are human, whether it's in victory or in defeat. That's how we as humans make connection, to understand everyone struggles and everyone overcomes these struggles. So earlier in my career, I was in Chicago. It was Cubs Marlins. It was the NLCS, and it was just kind of a routine foul ball in a way. And I always follow the ball because you never know if it's going to be a home run, or if the outfielder's going to jump over the wall. You never know. And so I just followed it. Playoffs, you follow everything. And sure enough, what is crazy to me was like, you're in a ballpark full of photographers, and there's probably only 3 of us that shot it. The Steve Bartman Moises Alou photo gave me a purpose, and it gave me a direction in my career that when I was just starting out, what is it that I can do? What can I bring to the table? Well, that's it, defining moments. So when I first started, there weren't a lot of women doing this in the sport world, whether it was in writing, broadcast, photography. Early on, it was difficult because you had to play by a different set of rules, and you are scrutinized by everyone and everything, and you have to work twice as hard to prove yourself. And I've felt that I've had to prove myself over and over and over and over again. And that is very exhausting. And what has changed is there are more of us here. And I think that's wonderful. I think it's great that our visions and our voices and our ability to cover sport is celebrated. What I've always thought in my core and what I tell everyone, no matter what it is if you feel in your heart of hearts that you are meant to do this and that you are good at this, don't let others' negativity distract you or detour you from chasing your dreams. And if you are able to break down a door and get an opportunity, bring others with you, you're going to find a way. And you just need to be tenacious, relentless, and unapologetically strong.